What's up, YouTube? So we're back at it again inside the car. Right now, well, I got my do-rag matching the green, so that's pretty cool. If you guys can see, if it's not too dark. But now we're going to be wiring up the whole center console. I said center console. Well, center console with it, but the steering rack and everything else. I need to remember what everything does. So, got the ignition switch with the key here. Got my multimeter because I'm going to be doing something special. I'm not going to be using the key to power on everything. We're going to be using the steering wheel. So I'm not going to explain my process on this because I don't know what I'm doing. And I kind of want to keep this for me. So I'm pretty sure you guys could figure it out. And besides, me showing you on this car anyway, not gonna work on any other cars, so there's no other point. See, I got all my switches and stuff, power and everything. Got my charger. I gotta put a piece of Velcro. Maybe I might screw this side in. But so you got the charger, so my phone's ready to be charged and everything. Everything's powered. I want to see what the gauges look like, but we need to power the ignition. So we got other stuff back here, like this, and the covers. I'm trying to grab all this stuff for you. Let's move the multimeter to the side. Right, so this is actually really durable. I did my thing with it. Yeah. So this is the turn signals, and this is the windshield wiper motor. I might actually ditch this because right here the wires seem to be cut. Two wires have been cut. There's probably a reason why they were cut. Maybe like it's malfunction and it just kept going or whatever. Don't know. But I'm gonna figure that out later on down the line. But we have two prongs here. What is this? Yeah, so this and this is for the windshield wipers. I wonder what this 4-prong thing is for. And I know this is for the ignition and this is for the turn signals, because this is only one thing. Porsche had a lot of, oh nice. Porsche had a lot of weird connectors. Like, look at this. Look how weird this stuff is. You know, in the future, it's so much simpler. Like, what the hell is this? But I guess. So, this one absolutely does nothing. Or does something, just not anything what I needed to do. So we can just tuck that one away forever. But yeah, so we're going to clean these up because these look absolutely filthy, and get back and wire this up. Right, so let me try to explain the madness that I'm doing. So I'm figuring out what wires are getting powered on when the key is switched on, battery is connected. So by doing this, I found out that this one on the forum, this is constant power, and I tested it with my multimeter. It's constant power. And this other thick wire is a starter wire. How I tested that was I put power. I have a constant ground right here, taped up right here. Alright, so now when I touch it with the key on, still no power, key off, no power. But only when I crank it, that's when it gets 12 volts. So that's a starter wire. And key off, these black and yellow wires get no power. Key on, they get power. And then key off, these two wires get power. Interesting. So I'm going to leave these here. I'm going to cut off these and send these to the steering wheel. So then I'm also going to tee off. Not tee off. I'm going to tap into this power wire right here and send it to the steering wheels also. So when I connect the quick release, one side is power, one side is power, and then the other side send it to the accessories, which is basically what this whole thing is doing right here. If you guys don't understand, I know it's a lot of pointing and wires and electricity, but there's a method to this, and wiring is actually pretty fun. Don't think it's wiring as a boring job, guys. This is actually really fun. All right, next day here, and we got all these parts nice and cleaned up. All right, so I didn't show this in the video, but I put all the wires together like I said. So I got all the powers, the illumination for the gauges, illumination for the gauges, and illumination and the power for the switches, which would also power the voltmeter, all together, and everything else in the ignition that the key turns, and everything together. So this is the power wire that powers the whole ignition system. So I'm going to be taking this orange wire, spinning it with this, and then crimping them both together. So the orange wire would then send the power through here. When the quick release is on, it touches these two brass prongs. Then it sends power to this whole harness right here. And I gotta use like a thick enough wire, but at the same time I can't really go too thick, and this might send too much. I mean, it's gonna send the same amount of power regardless, but I'm gonna see how long this would last up. Or hold up for, but pretty sure it should last for quite a long time. So I'm gonna push back everything, make everything run through here, and I'm going to be putting this shit back together. So let's go. Alright, so moment of truth. We got the NRG connected with the orange and black wire. Black wire goes to the accessories, orange wire is the power. So let's get the steering wheel and see if it works. Alright, a moment of truth. I know, right? Awesome spot to hang up your steering wheel, right? Right, so this is the NRG steering wheel. Suede wrapped, I don't want the leather shit, with the 3rd gen quick release. So, of course, you know we had to go green. And this green does somewhat match, mostly matches the Takata harnesses. That's a better match for it. So we have 2 types of greens in here. At least this matches with something, so I'm happy with that. Alright, so car is powered. Let's see if this works. Alright, so I have to rewire this gauge or figure out what's going on with the power and shit. But yeah, if this works, then if this works and the ignition is on, I should be able to use my signals, alright, and the pop-up headlights should come up. And seeing that I wired, I don't know, I gotta look back at what this is, but these gauges should come on. So there's 3 things. If I get 2 out of 3, I'm good. Let's see. It's kind of cold. Let me get my hood back on. Alright, so this gotta go straight. Ah, okay. So it actually did work. You hear the relay power on. So that one came on. because this I wired the power, all the switches, and this to get power via the ignition. Let's see if this works. Yep, my signals do work. And this gauge got brighter because it thinks that it's nighttime. The rest of the gauges didn't come on. Let me see. Okay, the gauges are still somewhat wired to the switch. I gotta figure that out. I'll probably just, sort of tapping into the wires, I'll probably just do it how I was originally gonna do it instead of tapping it into it. So, and pop our headlights, and they do come on. They do come on. Cool. And back down they go. Right, so this was a success. I just need to rewire these gauges. Cool. Alright, let's rewire this shit and put the whole thing back together like it's like how the car came. In other news, the BMW cup holders work, so that's cool. You know, it's real cool. Right, so I think I fixed all of the problems. There was like several. Found out why the oil pressure gauge wasn't coming on, because I put my trust in the previous owner and his wiring skills. So he had the power wire from the gauge going someplace else we didn't need to go. But everything's now rewired. Then I had another problem, tested another problem, where I would take the key out or steering wheel off, and the coolant gauge and the oil pressure gauge would still stay on, and I thought it would go off after like 60 seconds or so, but it just continues to stay on. So going through the forums of these gauges, what they said, you can put the white and the red wire together. So let's test it out and see how it, well, let's put everything back together, and then, because I'm pretty confident these will work, because the ignition goes straight to the key. Only thing that's getting power all the time, or well, the gauges will be getting power all the time after the key is in. So, and then this one was fine. The bigger gauges were fine, so I didn't have to worry about those. All right, so see, I took it apart again, but let's put everything back together and everything should be fine now. All right, so we put most of it back together now. So right here we have the NRG hub. See, NRG perfectly fits our application. Perfect. When you put it on, yeah, make sure that the hub is straight. This little dot right here at the top, make sure that's centered. In my case, I guess with the, you know, you gotta look how straight is the car, you know. Yeah, make sure you tuck it on there, put it down so you can get the threads in. But another thing I want to talk about, if you guys are actually attempting to do something like this, make sure that your wires are long enough. So when you turn the wheel, you have to imagine that these things will wrap around like this, you understand? And vice versa when you turn the wheel the other way. So make sure you have enough for 2 or 3 turns, depending on how many turns your car has in the first place. But yeah, that's basically the whole story behind doing something like this. And you gotta make sure that this hub can actually go down. I might have to hit it with a hammer and make sure it goes down so I can catch some of these threads. But after you put it on, you know, you would run the wires through this little hole like this. The NRG hub actually helps you out a lot because of this major size opening that they provide you with. This just adds a lot more leeway for the wires to, you know, spin around. Because you gotta remember, it's gonna wrap around. When it wraps around, you know, you want it to stay together and not when it, you know, comes apart. Like if this is your horn, imagine if you go full lock and one of these come apart, you know, now you have no horn. So you gotta make sure you know, these wires are long enough, like I said. Alright, so we have a little problem with the lip on this thing. It's not gonna allow me to go too far over this spline. So NRG is gonna hate me for this, but I'm gonna have to modify their product. I have to cut it down all the way down to the threads here. That would give me enough space to get it over. Okay. Try number 4. Trying to get it so I get enough threads and not strip the whole damn thing out. Because once that's stripped, it's a lot of money and I'm not taking this apart again. So. All right. That fitment though, I've done grinded this thing down so many times. It's like not even NRG's product anymore. It's like a product of me. Shit. All right. Our screw is now almost halfway on. Well, more than halfway on now. Now I can torque it down. But this thing has lots of scratches on it, so I might just paint it. It's aluminum, so I don't think I should have a problem with rust or anything. But by grinding it down, you can see like I brought it closer in, so this ring around the corner is like hiding the center stack, so that's a cleaner fitment. I kind of like doing that. If I could, I'll do it some more. I'll grind it down some more and make it completely flush till it touches like this handle right here. But that'll be too much. I don't wanna remove too much material and then it's weak. So, oh, the scratches on the damn thing. Sheesh. Maybe later on I'll paint it, but as of now, it's still really hot. As of now, I'll just leave it. Right, so now that looks like a nice professional job. All right, let's get the steering wheel again, test everything. Should work, because tested it off camera, but yeah. Now we're going to be installing the center console and the radio. And if we have enough time, we can put in the custom-made seat belts. Right, so for the radio, we got this Android head unit off of Amazon. Cost about, what, $150, I believe? And it's like the fancy ones where it looks like it's like a single DIN unit, but then it flips up. So, trying to keep this car period correct, but still trying to add some resto mod things to it. Back then, double DINs were like for the rich people, I believe. They cost so damn much back then. Nowadays, they're cheap. Alright, so this is the system. Let's see, it comes with a little GPS sensor, USB, and this is what the front looks like. So, let's see off the front. Knob here, presser. Comes with an SD card. Oh, that's pretty cool. What is this? It's like a 32, yeah. 32 gig SD card, if that decides to focus. Yeah, it's like, that's pretty cool. Let's put that back in there. So we have a USB cord on the back and on the front. So I guess this is like ease of access. So that's pretty cool. So got an aux, and where it says open, it's not a CD player. That's where the screen comes out. So that's pretty easy to read. Hopefully we can like tilt the angle of the screen so it's not up on the switches. I'd rather have it like, you know, straightish-ish. All right, let's go get the center console. Test this out. Bunch of user manual and stuff. Cool. Right, so for the center console, I decided just to keep it. Maybe later on down the line, I'll modify it and make my own center console, because that would always be better than this one, because I like the look of the tunnel, and I feel like it's stealing some of the glory. So I'm going to mount this a bit higher for fitment reasons. I kind of like it sitting up on it instead of sitting flat. This also gives me more room for my buttons and spacing. You see the heated seat button is kind of being mangled, so I'm gonna find a way to mount it up like this. Also, this is for the older interior. I know that this is not for you Porsche purists out there. This is not the right one, but it snaps in perfectly. It just fell out because it wasn't in all the way. So we're gonna angle it up like this and bolt it down. All right, damn, the sun is beaming now. All right, so I decided to make my own little bracket system that gets this thing, let me cover the light, that gets this thing perfect. See, it's nice and aligned, straight. It's pretty straight-ish. Yeah, it's straight. All right, cool. All right, so the radio fits perfect. I thought I would have to like angle it out some, but no, push that shit in right in, and it's perfect. It'll stay right in there. So, all right, let's wire it up and see if we get some sound. Wire it up and open the screen. I would like to see that first. All right, so like I said, we wired up everything in the previous video, and little cord here for the camera, which is in the bag. Perfect. You have a backup camera for this car. I don't think seeing back there would be hard, but you just gotta learn. With every new car, you gotta learn your size of the car. But the backup camera should help a lot. So plug that in later when we install it. So plug this in the back on this side. Is it? Yep, it's like this. Alright, hope everything works. I don't have to rewire anything. So you can see one plug, perfect, I guess. And you gotta like play with the wires back here. See the antenna cord on the floor. But we'll wire that up later. Make sure everything works. Oh look. Alright, so that's a bad thing. You already have power to it. Open. Holy shit. Wait. Angle it. Jesus Christ. Angle yourself, man. Alright, so what's the button to angle that screen? Yeah, so I would need to stick it out a bit. Let's try it again. There was a button in the video the guy touched. Oh, okay. There it is. That's better. So if I wire it up like, if I have it angled like this. Thanks. Hopefully it should stay like this the whole time. Let's put it back in and see if it will go back out, or if I would just, oh, it does. Nice. Whatever setting you leave it at, that's the setting it'll go back to. I'm just playing with the button, guys. Alright, so we got the radio and all my music, all the speakers playing properly. I'm not trying to get copyrighted, but alright, so you hear all the speakers work. There we go. It's pretty cool. You got Navi and all that stuff, Wi-Fi enabled. It's really, really cool. And it still remembers the setting that I put it at. I disconnected the battery and, well, actually no, I'll put it back up at the, alright, that's interesting. Every time you disconnect the battery, it kind of, you know, resets its whole thing, so. That's pretty cool. Alright, so I found the strength in me to kick the laziness out. And decided to take this gray wire that goes to the back of these switches. This gets power to the ignition. These go to all those white wires right there. So this is a pretty thin wire too, so it shouldn't be doing anything. So we're going to be taking this gray wire and teeing it off, and hopefully it should work. All right, let's try this again. This time with the steering wheel. Alright, these turn on. That turns on, and welcome. Alright. Shit. Let me just pull it out just a little bit and send it back. Right, so for as long as I don't disconnect the battery, it will stay in that position. But look, guys, this is amazing. The ignition wired in as an NRG steering wheel. I'm tired. I don't want to go back there ever again. I hope everything back there is proper. Oh fuck, I gotta connect that water temp. Oh wait, no, should be connected. Cool. So the only way for me to test, so I know this needs calibration for the speedometer. I know I gotta find the hose and tap into that and put that in there. Oil pressure should be good, but a lot of these gauges we can't test until the car's actually started, like this tachometer. Hopefully I picked the right wire because it was 1 out of 3. Same with the fuel. I feel like I can peel up all the plastic off of this now. It feels really good. Damn, this cockpit looks amazing. Let's block this up a little bit. Damn. Alright, well, this hole is for the AEM AFR, and I'm gonna drill the next one for the boost. I got the radio set up. Sucks because I can't really use my switches, and yes I can. Yes I can. But yeah. I got the voltage reading. Gotta charge this battery. And I'm gonna have to Bluetooth everything to my phone again. All the speakers work. Already tested that. All right. Well, I guess we're gonna be buttoning up the center console and finally putting in this seat soon. So, before this video gets too long, I'm gonna end it right here. Really hype, guys. Look at all this. It's just amazing. So don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Never forget, never stop modifying. Like legit, never stop modifying, ever.